cucks? It's the hater back in your computer or phone once again, motherfuckers. And today we're going to talk about today's wrestling and today's wrestler. Now I know they sound like pretty broad topics, and they are pretty broad topics, but you'll see what I'm talking about once we get to it. But as usual, before we start, pin this bitch, we're going to talk about some subscribers. Now, since my last video a couple of days ago, I've gotten like a lot of subscribers, you know, a lot for for my standards, motherfuckers, you see? But as usual, they don't all show up. I've spoken to a few people through the comment section, so if I forget to give you a shout out, and I said I would, I'm sorry. Please leave a comment on this video, and I definitely won't forget. All right, it's just been a couple of days, motherfuckers. So the subscribers that appeared in my email, are Goten. What up, Goten? You know what I'm saying? I believe that's a Dragon Ball Z guy. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe Dragon Ball, whatever, GT. Doesn't matter, right? Goten. Yeah, he's like Goku's son, right? He's like Goku's other son. Anyways, then we got Colorado 970 Rap Youngin. I like that. And we, of course, have my boy Miguel Hernandez. I like that. And Darth Zato. What up, Darth Zato? Like I said, if you want to shout out and you're one of the other like 20 or 25 subscribers that we've gotten in the last few days, I suggest you hit me up in the comments, cucks. Now, before we move on, I just want to say a couple of things. My last video has been doing pretty well. It's got a lot of views, like really quickly. And if you're someone that's viewing my videos, I really appreciate it if you subscribe today. You know what I'm saying? And of course, like, share, hit the bell. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever you gotta do, man. Just hook me up, dog. But yeah, and I'm starting to expand the reach of the hater. You know what I'm saying? So I have an email that I will put down in the description. That's if you want to email me anything. Perhaps you want to email me a question that I can address in a video. Perhaps you want to email me a suggestion as to a video I should watch. Perhaps you want to email me, I don't know, a video itself, letting me know that some people are talking shit about different things. And maybe you want me to react to that, We're making the hater channel about the people, motherfuckers. You can, of course, also do this in the comment section. But if you're shy, you know what I'm saying, and you don't want people to know what you're talking about, you can just hit me up on that email, you know what I mean? Eventually, I'm going to have probably an Instagram account or some shit. So, but we'll wait for that. I'm also on Twitter. I don't even know my Twitter handle, though. It says the hater, but when I was retweeted by Val Venus, motherfuckers, Val Venus retweeted me. He saw my video, and he retweeted that some bitch. Yeah, so wait for that, and the hater will soon be on your Twitter as well, motherfuckers. But I'm going to see if I can change the name or something. So, because it's like the hate, and then there's like 17 numbers after, so I don't know. But the email is down in the description. It's indiewrestlingsucks@gmail.com, I believe. But don't listen to me. Look at the link. All right, or whatever. The email downstairs, motherfuckers. All right. Now we're going to talk about the issue at hand here, right? We're going to talk about today's wrestler and today's wrestling. All right. So, first things first, right? Obviously, in order to have today's wrestling, you need to have today's wrestlers. And in order to have today's wrestlers, you need yesterday's wrestling, right? You understand what I'm saying? It's a chicken and egg phenomenon, motherfuckers. So basically, the way it works is like this. The wrestlers of yesterday, do some things. The wrestlers of today see those things when they're coming up in the business or when they're young boys and young girls. And then they become wrestlers themselves. Now, obviously, we know that beyond wrestling, there's other forces and other social forces, obviously, that shape someone's upbringing, right? And therefore shape someone's opinions. And of course, this doesn't apply just, to wrestlers, but that's what we're talking about, so we're going to focus on that. So, for example, take the phenomenon of what I call the next Shawn Michaels. How many times have you heard, this guy is the next Shawn Michaels? I recently read it in an article. Apparently, Undertaker thinks that AJ Styles is the next Shawn Michaels, and that's why he wants to have a match with him at WrestleMania. But what makes these people the next Shawn Michaels? I like AJ Styles. AJ Styles, he made it in my top 10 list, motherfuckers. I'm a big-time, lifelong AJ Styles fan. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Like, how many people have been dubbed the next Shawn Michaels, right? They fall into two categories, right? people that are clearly imitating Shawn Michaels. That would be people like John Morrison, fucking Dolph Ziggler, you know what I mean? That level of cuck. Like the people that are just like, they have no personality, so they're like, oh, I like Shawn Michaels, so I'm going to be exactly like him, you know? There's those people. And then there's like the other people that get the Shawn Michaels moniker. These are typically people that don't bring much to the table, right? And you can't really like convince someone that they're good by the merits of their like work or their appearance or whatever the case may be. So you just label, you just brand them. You're like, oh, this is the next Shawn Michaels. This might be someone like Johnny Gargano. That's another one they're talking about. You know, Johnny Gargano, the next Shawn Michaels. Everyone that like, if I asked someone, if I said, hey, explain to me why Johnny Gargano is a good wrestler, right? You couldn't come up with anything, right? There's really nothing that you could say about Gargano that makes him a good wrestler. Now you can say things that make him a wrestler, you know, that might justify the fact that he's an NXT jobber. You could say things like that, but I would have a counter to a lot of those things, you know, like someone would be like, Johnny Gargano's great in the ring. And my counter argument would be, wait, isn't Wesley Blake great in the ring too? What makes Johnny Gargano better than Wesley Blake? And that's kind of the problem with today's wrestlers. But before we get to that, let's finish this point about the modern day Shawn Michaelses that we all have to deal with, right? You know, I remember watching TNA back in the Diz, right? And there was a guy called Michael Shane, right? And this guy was basically Shawn Michaels. His name was fucking Michael Shane, right? He had like an elbow drop and a super kick finisher, right? Come to find out, this guy's like Shawn Michaels' nephew, right? So Michael Shane, which is obviously a ripoff of Shawn Michaels, at least, you know, he has the decency to, number one, be Shawn Michaels' nephew, and two, just completely steal the character, right? Like, it's like tongue-in-cheek. It's like, yeah, I stole it, motherfuckers. What are you going to do about it, right? You know, it's almost like Gilbert, you know? Gilbert is obviously a Goldberg ripoff, right? But that's the joke. The joke is like, yeah, motherfuckers, that's what it is, you know? It's not this like, oh, I want to be seen as the next Shawn Michaels, right? So, and that's the problem, right? Because a lot of wrestlers today don't have the personality or charisma, or really, they don't have anything. They really are regular people, right? They're just like, oh, what can I do to get over? Or perhaps more importantly, what can I do so people can even mention my name, right? I'll just act like Shawn Michaels, you know? And that's why we have all these jabrones who really don't bring anything to the table. Johnny Gargano brings nothing to the table. You could replace Johnny Gargano tomorrow with Arya Davari. And Arya Davari could probably do the same exact things, right? Arya Davari can do the moves Johnny Gargano does. Do you think Tony Nese can't do those moves? I've seen Tozawa do those moves in Dragon Gate. You know, Tozawa was a million times better of a wrestler than Johnny Gargano, right? Johnny Gargano doesn't have this like incredible amount of charisma. In fact, he has zero, right? He's not good on the mic. He's not big. He's not like insanely athletic. I mean, he's obviously athletic, but he's not more athletic than, let's say, Tozawa, again, using him as an example of being this big motherfucker, right? He's not this like specimen of any sort, right? Compared to Shawn Michaels is ridiculous because Shawn Michaels, number one, is someone that could really have amazing matches. And I don't mean these Johnny Gargano matches. We're going to get to that in a second, right? But I mean these incredible matches, right? Have emotion in his matches, you know, make you feel like, holy shit, this guy is awesome, you know? Like, Shawn Michaels, here's why Shawn Michaels understood wrestling, right? Because in my opinion, the greatest pops that Shawn Michaels ever got was when he would, like, get his ass beat, and then someone would Irish whip him, he would duck, and then he'd hit the flying forearm, right? Hit the flying forearm, and then he'd be, like, laid out, right? And then you'd hear JR being like, oh my God, how can Michaels even continue? I think he's dead, King. And then Michaels would do, like, a kip-up, right? And that was great because it was like, no, motherfuckers, I'm not done yet. That was the idea. The idea was like, you know, like Undertaker or Kane, whoever it may be, they think they've put Michaels away, but it's not going to be that easy, right? Even that move told a story. What does Johnny Gargano do, man? Oh, Gargano escape. You know, nobody gives a fuck, dude. This guy sucks. So what I'm saying is this, right? And this is kind of like my prelude, my amuse-bouche for all you motherfuckers out there, for all you fancy pants, right? It's my amuse-bouche, my appetizer, if you will, to the real points that I'm going to make. But it's an important element of it, right? Because it goes to show that characters today don't have the capacity, ability, skills, charisma, or, like I said, virtually anything. They bring virtually nothing to the table. I got more examples, don't worry. But so instead of developing their own character or having some sort of idea, right? They instead are just, it's easier to just latch on to like Shawn Michaels or, I don't know, someone like Jericho, maybe Stone Cold, right? They just latch on to other wrestlers. And they become like the juniors of these other wrestlers. This ain't Lucha Libre, motherfucks. You know, there's no room here for Rey Mysterio and then Rey Mysterio Jr. and then Dominic Mysterio. Ain't nobody got time for that. You know, you got to come up with your own shit. That's what makes wrestling great, you know? I read somewhere, who was it? Either someone mentioned it in one of my comments or I read it in another video, but someone said that Scott Steiner said the following quote. He said, if you're not in it for the money, you're a mark, right? And that, I think, encapsulates everything perfectly, right? I think a lot of these people are in it for the money, but there are a few that are like, I'm gonna have a legacy in here. I'm gonna have a legacy. Shut up. Just do your job and make yourself entertaining, right? That's kind of the idea. Don't be a mark, right? Don't be like these other morons who are like, oh, this guy's the best thing since Shawn Michaels. Don't be Shawn Michaels. Be yourself, you know? Again, caveat, like I've said in a previous video. Be yourself if yourself is interesting. If yourself sucks ass, then just don't be a wrestler. I don't want to see you on my TV, fucker. You know what I'm saying? So there you have it, right? Now that we've laid as we typically do in these videos, we're laying the foundation, motherfuckers. We're steamrolling and Cleveland steam up in this, right? Now we can move to the real point, right? Let's look at some wrestlers that we have today that are popular, right? And see how they are basically derivative wrestlers that really bring absolutely nothing to the table. And while we do that, I'll hit you with another quote, which is this. The only thing that matters in wrestling is the storytelling. The in-ring work is, I don't even want to say secondary. It's like tertiary. It's like the last thing. The least important thing is that what actually happens in the ring. What happens in the ring is supposed to be a payoff, right? All the good storylines are like one guy is dodging the other guy or attacking him, getting his number, right? Just whooping his ass. And then they get to their pay-per-view match, and then they have it, and then that kind of resolves everything. You know, it's like, all right, now we can move on to either nowadays chapter 2 or on to the next feud, which was more likely how it should be, right? But the match itself is not important. And this was something that was kind of, and I know I'm kind of going on a tangent, but it's important. This is something that was kind of articulated by like some guy who called into the Jim Cornette show. This is like an important story, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Where basically this guy was saying like, yo, Dave Meltzer is like, he has Asperger's, right? So, you know, that's why he cares about the things he cares about, but like a normal person doesn't find this entertaining, right? Now, whether that's true or not, that's not important. But there is an element of correctness in there, right? Because it's like people like Dave Meltzer, they like a different element of wrestling, you know? Like they don't like the thing that makes wrestling popular. You know, this is kind of like saying like, oh, I like the NFL. Oh, why do you like it? Do you like the tackles? Do you like the fact that you can score a touchdown in a matter of seconds? No, I like the punts. I like seeing punts. You know, it's like, all right, like that's part of the game, but that's not really what brings the people. You know, you aren't gonna bond with someone over like, oh, who's my favorite punter? You could put a gun to my head. I can't name you a punter in the NFL right now. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't watch NFL that often, but you understand what I'm saying, right? Or it's kind of like watching soccer and not caring about goals, but being like, oh, I like corners. Corners are really turn me on, right? That's kind of what Dave Meltzer is. He's the guy that instead of analyzing who scored the goals, he analyzes who had more corners. You know, it's insane. It's ridiculous, right? So this generation of wrestlers has grown up with kind of like a Dave Meltzer etiquette, right? This idea that like my matches are supposed to be good. And I'm not saying matches shouldn't be good, right? But there's a distinction between a good match and a long match. And now the foundation has fully been laid. Let's talk about examples up in this bitch. So you have someone like, I just used the example, Johnny Gargano up in this, right? Johnny Gargano thinks he's like God's gift to wrestling. That's another thing that all these wrestlers, like today's wrestler, has in common. They think they're like better than they are. You know, they think that like Johnny Gargano really thinks that he's like good at his job. You know, it's the most preposterous thing ever. You've just been put in that situation, dog. Nobody, like, you didn't earn anything. Someone was just like, all right, we're gonna put Tozawa on 205 Live and Gargano over here and give him, you know, better matches. It's 100% a coin flip. They don't see anything in Gargano. I don't care if Triple H says he's the next Shawn Michaels. We all know he's bullshitting. It's not true. Johnny Gargano will never be world champion. That's ridiculous. You know. So and if he is, fuck, man, then they really fucked up, right? I guess nothing would surprise me now, right? So today's wrestler has this idea that what matters more is someone's in-ring like performance than everything else, right? The few people that understand that this is not the case are the ones that are actually good today. So someone like Velveteen Dream, motherfucks, Drew McIntyre, right? Orton. These are people that they understand that wrestling isn't about the actual match. The people that suck ass, like Daivari and Tony Nese and Buddy Murphy, who has like absolutely zero charisma, This guy's like, no, I do good in the matches. I've copied my entire moveset from like what's the guy's name? Kota Ibushi. I've copied his moves, and now I'm good like him. I'm the American or the Australian Kota Ibushi. Yeah, no, you're not. You're a cuck, is what you are. So that's what I'm saying, right? These people have this idea that what makes them good and interesting is their in-ring work, and it's not true. And with that comes this other problem, right? Where people keep saying things for decades now. It feels like, definitely 1 decade, people are like, oh, Dolph Ziggler's been held back. His in-ring work is great. Yeah, he hasn't been held back. No one cares about his in-ring work is the real answer. Nobody gives a shit. You know, when you put him against Edge and people are like, this should be Dolph's time, right? It's like, dude, Edge is someone who like is all right in the ring. Like he's not doing these like flippy things. He's not like Ricochet, you know, he doesn't have that level of athleticism, but he understands the philosophy of what makes wrestling great. Just like I gave him the Shawn Michaels example, right? The idea that like, that the build up to the story, right? The conclusion to the story should have something in connection to the build up, right? So for example, when Cody Rhodes goes on to wrestle MJF, there's going to be a point, if they're smart, where Cody Rhodes whips MJF 10 times, gives him 10 lashes, right? That would be called good booking. Now, I don't know if AEW is capable of that kind of booking, but we'll see. I mean, we probably won't see it because I don't think I'm paying $60 for that garbage, but you understand what I'm saying, right? Today's wrestlers are more concerned, right, with getting over on Twitter and copying other wrestlers. And when they're given, I don't know how to call it, like charity cases, right? So when they're given something that they clearly haven't earned, like they're not good enough to achieve this thing, right? It comes with this entitlement, you know? It really comes with this entitlement. It's insane to me. It is insane, right? So for example, Kofi Kingston, right? Kofi Kingston became WWE champion, right? And keep in mind, he became the WWE champion, but he was the SmackDown champion, right? It doesn't really matter which title is which. Everybody knows that the Raw champion is the important one, right? The Raw champion is always the important one, you know? And the SmackDown champion is, let's be honest, the secondary champion. It doesn't matter whether it's the World Heavyweight title, the Universal title, or anything else, right? As soon as Bray Wyatt won the Universal title, they were like, all right, put this asshole on SmackDown. He's a SmackDown wrestler. Bring up Brock Lesnar to Raw where things actually happen, right? So that's kind of the idea. So Kofi Kingston, there was this whole deal with these weird racial implications, right? That happened where he became champion, and it showed all these like jabroni wrestlers. A lot of them were like were black wrestlers, and they were like, oh. And when Kofi won, like Bianca Belair started crying, and I'm like, dude, did you forget about Booker T and Mark Henry? 2 wrestlers that are better than Kofi in every way. And the counter argument was always like, yeah, but they were World Heavyweight champion and Kofi's WWE champion. Doesn't matter, motherfucks. They were all SmackDown champions. That's what matters. They were SmackDown champions. And Booker T was treated like a main eventer. At that time, it was a little bit closer than it is now. Now, like, nobody watches SmackDown. Nobody cares. You know, Kofi Kingston, as soon as they moved to Fox, I'd get the belt off his jobber, right? But Kofi Kingston, I could tell. You know, it started off with like humility, right? Where he was like, you know, he's like, I never thought I'd do it. I was convincing myself that it wouldn't matter, you know, but because I've achieved so much. But now, like, I'm like, oh, that's good, you know? And then now all of a sudden, we have to hear all the time about how Kofi Kingston is this like great champion, right? He had a longer title run than he deserved, right? And you could see flashes of that attitude where he really thought, you could tell this asshole thought that he was this guy who should have always been in the main event, and they booked it like that too. They're like, Randy Orton is the one who held Kofi back. No, it's the fact that Kofi Kingston botches about 40% of his moves. This guy is like a botch machine. I don't even know how Kofi Kingston has a job, if I'm being honest. Now, he's entertained me. I'm not going to sit here and say he's garbage, but he is a botch machine. The amount of times Kofi Kingston botches the SOS and the Trouble in Paradise is staggering. If anyone else did this, in my opinion, they would be fired. But because it's Kofi Kingston and because he's been presented as like a fan favorite for so long, you know, they're like, all right, we'll keep this asshole, right? Like Randy Orton never botches the RKO. Like never. You know, even when someone's like diving, he grabs a guy and does it. Have you ever seen Booker T botch the scissors kick? No, never, motherfucks. Like Kofi Kingston is the kind of guy that he thinks he's more athletic than he is. You know what I mean? He really thinks he's capable of doing like there's people that can do it. Like Leo Rush can do those moves. Ricochet can do those moves. Kofi can't, motherfucks. Kofi can't, but he still tries, and he makes it look like shit, right? And then he's surprised. Oh, why am I in the mid card? You're lucky to even be in the WWE, you little shit, right? Same thing, Johnny Gargano, same concept, like overinflated ego, like oh, NXT really is like a third brand. No, it's not. You're there for a reason, motherfuckers, because you would never get over on Raw. It's never gonna happen, right? Like, what makes Johnny Gargano better than Tyler Breeze, who failed in the main roster? They're the same fucking thing, right? Except for, ironically, Tyler Breeze. I don't think he's like that kind of cut, that thinks he's better than he is. Dolph Ziggler, same thing. Oh, I always steal the show. Who agreed to that? Nobody agreed that Dolph Ziggler steals the show. You could put a gun to my head and say, Hater, tell us 5 good Dolph Ziggler matches. I couldn't. The only ones that come to mind that were decent were his ladder match with Cena, and the reason why that was great was because it was a rare occasion where Cena lost, and the Survivor Series where like Sting interfered, which of course is relevant because Sting appeared. Nobody gave a fuck about Dolph Ziggler. It could have been me in there. It could have been Lars Henry in there, right? And Sting comes out and Lars Henry pins Seth Rollins. Everyone will lose their mind the same way. Nobody cares about about fucking Dolph Ziggler, right? And the most memorable moments he's had are these moments, right? There are moments where like either it has nothing to do with his wrestling. It had to do with like the storyline around it, and usually other people that are better than him, right? So, but despite this guy really thinks that he's great. And people like Dave Meltzer continuously put over these wrestlers as if they're good, right? And then the ego goes off the charts, and then we have things like, oh, Dolph should leave and go to AEW, well, he'll be respected. What the fuck are you talking about? Dolph Ziggler is respected in WWE. The fact that he has a career, the same thing I said about Kofi, the fact that Ziggler has a career in WWE shows that he's respected, because they could have fired this jabron a long, long time ago. The writing's been on the walls for like 15 years, and this guy's never going to make it. He's never going to be a guy that has a serious title run, or has more than one serious title runs, right? It's just not going to happen. This guy, he's not believable, right? So they're like, just stay here, tag team with Bobby Roode until you like become 50 or something, right? So that's the mentality of today's wrestler, right? It's these fucking losers, these jobbers who think they're better than they are. And now here's the other side of the coin, right? Not only do they think they're better than they are, but they really believe that they are superstars. Like, they don't understand that it's the machine of the WWE that can take some jobber like Kofi or Dolph Ziggler, who, if you looked at them in everyday life, like maybe Dolph Ziggler would, because he's got like long blonde hair. I guess so does Kofi now, but whatever. Like, if you took Kofi before he bleached his hair, right, and you just had him stroll through a town center, right, in any American town, and people didn't know that he was Kofi Kingston, nobody would turn their head. They'd be like, oh, just another guy walking around. Like, nobody gives a fuck. It's just like, who's this loser, And that's another thing, right? The amount of overlap between loser neckbeard wrestlers, right, like Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods and Dolph Ziggler, right? The amount of these assholes in WWE right now and elsewhere as well, don't get me wrong, right, is insane, man. It's a bunch of video game nerds. Like, they're almost incorporating it into Ricochet's gimmick now. They're like, Ricochet does moves that only see in video games. That's not a good thing, motherfucks. That's not a good thing. I know they're presenting it as like, oh, this guy's so athletic that he does things that should be impossible. But don't associate him with video games, because I saw a picture of a young Ricochet meeting Triple H, and Ricochet had this pressed, like, permed hair. He looked so fucking stupid, right? And like, if I were a heel, I'd be like, this is you, Ricochet. The end. Bury you completely, right? He looked like a complete asshole. He had like no muscle. I guess it was before he did steroids. If he does steroids, I don't even know. Because he's jacked now. But in this picture, he was like this skinny little boy, right? It was just ridiculous, right? And then you have people like Xavier Woods, who at least embraces it, but these nerds, these video game nerds, man. It's like, I don't aspire to be these people at all. Back in the day when I was a kid, albeit, right? I was like, man, I wish I was The Rock. I wish I was Stone Cold. Undertaker's so cool. You had these opinions, right, of yesterday's wrestling. But for some reason, instead of grabbing people like me, right, who also want to be wrestlers, not that I want to be a wrestler, but you understand what I'm saying. People that have my mentality or your mentality that want to be wrestlers, for some reason they started signing people like Kofi Kingston. These people who like Transformers in their 30s, right? I recently put out a comment somewhere on some YouTube video, right, about like Batman or something, right? And some guy was like, oh, you must be a casual fan of Batman, motherfuckers, right? And I responded, I'm like, yeah, motherfuck, I am a casual fan Obviously. What kind of a fan do you think I am? A hardcore Batman fan? I'm a grown man. What kind of a person would be a hardcore Batman fan, like, after they're 8 years old? You know what I'm saying? Of course I'm a casual fan. I don't go around reading Batman comic books. That's some nerd shit. Now, if you read comic books, that's totally cool, but you understand what I'm saying. You get where I'm coming from, right? This idea that this guy, he thought he had one over on me. He's like, oh, you're a casual fan. And that's kind of the problem, right? So, back to the whole point about these wrestling jabrones, right? These people being completely average at everything they do, basically, yet thinking that they're somehow elevated, are so oblivious to how they come off, right? Like when Xavier Woods talks about playing video games, right? And Kofi Kingston bleaches his hair blonde, like, there's an implication there that it's like, oh, this is a cool thing to do because some WWE wrestler did it. It's not a cool thing to do. Those days are gone. Those days are left with Stone Cold and The Rock, I'm sorry, and Cena and like Triple H and a few others, right? They're gone, man. Now it's not cool to be a wrestler anymore. It's not cool. That's why when people like Cody Rhodes are like, oh, Val Venus just wants to stay relevant. Does he? Does he really want to stay relevant? Why would anyone want to stay relevant in this bullshit? Just a bunch of weirdos. You know, you look to your left, Sonny Kiss. You look to your right, Nyla Rose. You look backwards, uh-oh, it's Cody, motherfucks. It's just a bunch of weird people, man. No one's normal anymore. Everybody's strange. You know, like, just as I'm like, all right, Kofi Kingston is back to being a tag team jobber. Boom, bleached hair. Now he looks like he's like 90 years old because for some reason, I don't know why, but the bleached hair just accentuates his old face. It's fucking strange, man. But what I'm getting at is this, right? That whereas at one point it was cool, it was awesome to be a wrestler and people wanted to do it, right? Now it's like, do you think anyone out there watches Kevin Owens and today's wrestling and today's wrestler and thinks to themselves, wow, I want to be the next Kevin Owens? But honestly, do you think there is one person out there who wakes up and says, I want to be the next Kevin Owens? The way that Kevin Owens said, I want to be the next Stone Cold. Or the way Becky Lynch said, I want to be the next Stone Cold, right? Do you think anyone does that? Absolutely not. Now, the only people that people could legitimately look up to are the women's division. Because that's like new. You know, it's like, oh, I'm a little girl. I want to be Becky Lynch, you know? But even that, like, give it one generation, it'll be done. So what I'm saying is this. You know, I don't believe that wrestling is going anywhere just because the WWE machine is too large, unless they sell, you know. But they're too large. It's a multi-billion-dollar company, right? They'll find a way to pull through, you know. But perhaps the way to pull through is to change the culture completely. Start by firing all these jobbers that I've mentioned. All these people that bring nothing to the table. They bring nothing to the table. What does Kofi Kingston bring to the table? What is he good at? He's not good at promos. Like, I saw this thing where it's like the New Day and a bunch of other WWE wrestlers. They start predicting like who's going to win, Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder. And it was so embarrassing because most of them picked Deontay Wilder. And I'm just like, anyone that understands boxing knows, of course, Deontay Wilder has a chance, right? But everybody knows that clearly Tyson Fury is the superior fighter and the superior boxer, right? And like, you should go for him, you know, so you don't look like an asshole, right? But the New Day, they all picked Deontay Wilder. And Kofi Kingston, he used this little moment in the video to kind of put himself over. Like Xavier Woods was like, oh, I'm not going to pick anyone, right? Kofi's like, come on, Xavier, do it. I'm just like, they tried so hard to come off as cool. And the only person that has any natural charisma in New Day is Big E. The other two are just holding him back. They're just holding him back, you know what I mean? Like Kofi Kingston, this guy's like, he's just a nerd, man. He's like I remember they had like the New Day, like whatever, like the Traveling the Road Together show on the network, right? And they went to like BU where Kofi Kingston went. And he's like, yeah, I went to BU. And I'm just like, okay, you're going to tell us anything about what you did here? Oh, I went to BU. He's just like a loser. He's just like a guy that, like, he's that guy that you know in college and you never think about ever again. You know, you're just like, oh, that guy, who cares? You know, who gives a fuck? You see, like, there's nothing like that captures you immediately. Versus, let's compare him to, I don't know, Tyson Fury, like I just said, right? You can watch a Tyson Fury press conference or a commercial or anything, and you're like, that guy's cool, man. You like it makes you like smile. You're like, that guy is cool. You see Booker T, you're like, that guy is cool. You see Devon fucking Dudley, you're like, that guy is cool. But you see people like Kofi Kingston and Johnny Gargano, and you're like, yo, get these jobbers away from me immediately. You know what I'm saying? Johnny Gargano is like 140 pounds at most. At most, this guy is a tiny, tiny human. This guy shouldn't be the champion of anything, right? But not only is he like someone that has had every NXT title, right? But now he's under the impression that he is a great wrestler. You bring nothing to the table, fam. Yeah? Velveteen Dream, on the other hand, he kind of gets it. You know what I'm saying? if anybody, he's the next Shawn Michaels, you know? He has that flamboyance, right? He looks great, and he's an awesome wrestler who does sensical moves, right? Not Johnny Gargano, this guy who's like some tag jobber, and now Tommaso Ciampa is also like a main eventer in NXT. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. Today's wrestler fucking sucks. It's either a nerd, a neckbeard, a combination of the two, right? Or the worst case scenario, someone who brings 0 and thinks they bring 100. That's the worst part. And that's why today's wrestling is garbage. Garbage, motherfuckers. Because, I mean, you know, it varies. Like, some places are better than others, right? But we have all these people. Like Cody Rhodes. Like, I know I bring him up a lot, but I have to. He's like the worst, right? Cody Rhodes is the worst example of this. This guy brings nothing to the table. Nothing. He's so boring. Like, his lack of charisma is so high that, like, when he was in WWE, in order to stand out, because he has no actual personality, that's why his gimmick has always been, I'm Dusty's son. You know? Like, he has no personality himself. He can't be anything other than Dusty's son. Compare that to, let's say, I don't know, Goldust, right? Who, like, everybody knows he's Dusty's son, but they don't mention it every 10 seconds, right? Or The Rock. Everybody knows The Rock is Rocky Johnson's son and High Chief Peter Maiavia's grandson. But that's just, like, in the background, you know? Because The Rock is The Rock. The Rock is just like, yo, I'm The Rock. Like, you don't need to know anything about me. Look at me. I'm awesome, right? You know, but Cody Rhodes cannot do that, right? So, but he thinks he can. That's the worst part. He thinks he can. So in WWE, you know, he fails completely as, like, Hardcore Holly's tag team partner. He doesn't stand out at all because he's like a black tights wearing jobber, right? Then Ted DiBiase comes in and poaches him as his own tag team partner. And now you're thinking to yourself, all right, Cody Rhodes is going to be the jobber to put over this DiBiase fella, right? And that doesn't work out, but they join Orton, right? And you're like, all right, clearly this is, once again, here to push Ted DiBiase, right? But then even WWE was like, none of these guys can actually get it done. So we're going to just repackage them as mid-card jobbers, even though we had them beat DX in a tag match, right? Well, we have to package them as mid-card jobbers once again. And Cody Rhodes, he's the one that he's going to go on SmackDown because he's the inferior one. And we're going to just have Randy Orton beat these guys, you know? And that's what happened. Randy Orton was the one who came out, who got the push and the rub from that garbage, right? So there you have it, motherfuckers. There you have it. Then they repackage Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase, and Cody Rhodes goes through a series of gimmicks where he tries really hard to prove that he's got something there, and he fails at every turn. When they run out of gimmicks for this jobber, right, he grows a mustache because that's gonna get him over. Oh, Cody has a mustache, isn't that great? That didn't work, motherfuckers. It didn't work at all. It was embarrassing. Then now he bleaches his hair. What about this asshole is interesting? One thing, man. One thing. He's not great in the ring. I mean, he's not shit in the ring, but he's not great in the ring, right? He's not great at promos, despite what they tell you. He's not great at promos, right? He's got a lift, right? There's all these things about him that, to me, prove that this is a guy who really thinks he's better than he is. And that's the problem. That's the problem with today's wrestler, and that's the problem with today's wrestling. Because when you have companies, entire companies or entire rosters or entire locker rooms filled with this kind of mentality, you're not going anywhere. You're not getting anywhere. No one can go over anyone. All these bullshit, like, you know what I'm saying, like even Steven booking, that's what it is. WWE knows. They're like, yo, man, we got two jobbers here. Like, they're such jobbers that we have to have one of them win and then the other one win again so they don't both look like complete jobbers. And you have them, motherfuckers. That's what I got to say about that. You know, shout out to all you motherfuckers that joined in recently. We have a lot of fun here in the Hater channel. This video, it was kind of all over the place. I know that. But it's because I'm angry at a lot of things that have to do with wrestling, you know. And the best way to verbalize it was just to talk about all this, right? So, like, for example, I was pissed off at Kofi Kingston and New Day in the little video I saw about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder because I'm like, these guys shouldn't be WWE stars. Like, except for Big E, they just shouldn't be here. Like, none of these people would have a spot on the roster in 1998. None of them. None of them. Like, Xavier Woods would never make it to WWE in 1998. Zero chance. Zero chance, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Kofi Kingston, he might be like, you know, Pete Gas from fucking Mean Street Posse. That would be the level over. Now he's a champion. You know what I'm saying? So that pissed me off. A bunch of the Cody Rhodes nonsense has pissed me off. Johnny Gargano thing pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? So that's why this video is all over the place. Now, I expect my pizza to arrive any moment now. And I'm going to eat that some bitch. And then I might do another video tonight. I don't know if it'll release now or tomorrow. But I will do a video that I think will be... It might be at 25 reasons, motherfuckers. So stay tuned for that, bitches.